My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Good morning. My name is Susan Lee. I'm a practitioner here at the center, and before I go into the invocation, I invite you today, because the topic is living from the inside out, I invite you to think right here and right now, what divine quality would you like to express more of this day and every day? And I invite you to speak it aloud gently so that I can hear it. Just randomly, when you think of that quality.
Greater good, romance, sexual expression,
tears,
money,
peace,
joy.
So right here, right now, I know that we are all opening to the truth that is our divine birthright. That truth which is that spirit within that expresses without so beautifully. So every divine quality here named and claimed is already in action, because it's already spoken into the divine loving law. This is our truth, this is everyone's truth, this is the truth of the world. And so I accept this, I claim it, and I know it to be true, and so it is.
So it is. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton. We are a loving, healing, and inclusive community which teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the well-being and spiritual growth of ourselves and the world. So we're here today. We are a center of peace, of love, of all those wonderful spiritual qualities in the world. Right here in Princeton, we're broadcasting. And so for those of you at home, welcome. I'm John Herron. I'm a practitioner here with this center, and it's really opens up my heart to be able to stand here and say that. I am a practitioner of the science of mind, which just means that I'm committed to understanding in a deeper level what's the truth that lives within me and lives within you and lives within the world. And so today we have our Practitioner Sunday, which just means that instead of a single speaker, all of our practitioners, each one is going to do a different presentation. Each one is going to stand up here and be the presence of the divine for all of us in different ways. Next week, I will be speaking, and I'm going to be speaking on treat yourself well. We're going to be talking about treatment and different aspects of treatment. And the weekend after that, we have Reverend Michelle Wadley. You probably heard her. She's a wonderful speaker, so don't miss it. And if you feel like it, those of you at home, get in your car and come down to River Road, 345 River Road in Princeton, and join us. We have a couple of new people today, one of whom has been watching from home for the longest time and just decided it's time to get in my car and come down. So welcome again. And take a minute now to welcome yourself to that deeper place inside, and allow yourself to be present with spirit, with truth, whatever you call it, and with all of us. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I feel like I'm Mrs. Crabtree. Little rascals.
Little
Okay. Okay, you all should have a copy of something at the top. It says treatment. This is taken from a book called Science of Mind Skills by Jane Claypool. We have used her treatments in our monthly programs, you know, in past times. She's amazing. So, I want to refer to a talk that Regina did a couple of weeks ago. And a phrase that she kept saying is, mind your mind. Mind your mind. And that so resonated with me because you're the one who owns your mind. No one else can mind your mind for you. And so much of this work is steeped in spiritual practices, changing the thoughts you think so that you can change and you can have the power to change your life. If you have a chance, go back and watch that talk again. I'd also like to let you know that I took a class recently with Agape in California, online class, and it was about raising your frequency. And although I have agreed not to share the contents of the class, I will tell you that one of the ways, and one of the first ways that we were taught was to use affirmative prayer. The same as spiritual mind treatment. Okay, so that's a very powerful way to raise your frequency to match with the desires that you want to attract. And I would like to refer to this treatment today as elixir for the mind.
I love it.
So as we recite this together, please know that your mind is drinking in these positive words, positive thoughts, and you are saying them with feeling. We're embodying these ideas, so much so that after each paragraph, we're going to pause for just a moment and just take a deep breath. All right, so let's do a collective one right now. Breathe in. Let it go. Yes. All right, so let's begin. I know that divine intelligence surrounds and supports my life, and that all things are possible with God. I also know that I am directly connected to that infinite source of wisdom, truth, power, and love called God.
Since I am in the
Take a deep
flow.
breath.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Drink that in. All right. Since I am in the flow of divine energy and love, I can never be discouraged or frightened. I am always creating new experiences and events in my life, and I am moving forward in my acceptance of more wealth, more health, more happiness, and more love. Deep breath. I have the patience it takes to open up to more good. I do not delay my choices by worry or doubt. I patiently and lovingly remind myself that God and I are one. I patiently push open a pipeline of acceptance within. I firmly and lovingly push out the barriers and obstacles in my belief system. I choose to change and allow myself to change in a loving manner. Deep breath. No matter how firmly fixed some situation may seem, I remind myself that Spirit is always creating new
force.
I am willing to release the old and let in the new. I am willing to get better. I am willing to have better. I am willing to be better. Deep breath. I am never discouraged. I know that God does not know time, and that all time is now. I know that I allow myself whatever it takes to attain my vision. I remind myself gently to keep working on my acceptance of good, and I do not waste my time or talent on false emotions, such as fear, doubt, or worry. Deep breath. I am in the correct position and frame of mind to let change happen. I am ready to take any necessary steps to implement that change. I choose to keep working on my spiritual growth, knowing that change will manifest as I grow in understanding. I choose to grow in understanding right now. I let this be so, and so it is. Keep drinking these elixirs. Thank you.
Lean into love, let's good flow. Infinite presence, all that we know. Mind creates soul, think it true. Love is here in all that we do. One with light, one with grace. God in action, time and space. No more fear, no more lack. Love moves forward, never back. Lean into love, let spirit guide. Truth within, no need to hide. Power, peace, and joy divine. Infinite love, forever mine. Lean into love, let spirit flow. Infinite presence, all that we know. Mind creates soul, think it true. Love is here in all we do. Love is here, all we do.
I love this new view we have. Hi, I'm Regina Quince. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living Principles. What a view.
Yeah.
What a
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And our theme is living from the inside out. So that's our out. No, that's our out.
It is.
Let's take credit for it. Let's take credit for it. I'm doing a meditation. I've given you a handout, the Declaration of Principles. That's for you to keep. I'm going to read it to you. And as I read it to you, I want you to allow it, like Deja said, let it sink in. Accept the power that you have, that you are. The inside, which produces the outside. Inside. So these Declaration of Principles was written by Ernest Holmes. and it appeared in the Science of Mind magazine, almost every one, since, like, I think they stopped maybe in maybe 2000. But these are our principles. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. And finally, we believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God.
Yep.
Namaste.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Thank you all who preceded me. There will be a little audience participation, as you could tell from the beginning. I like that. So be prepared. Thank you for the reminder of mind your mind, because as living from the inside out, mind your inside, so your outside is what you want, right? Mind your inside to experience the outside of your dreams, your freedom, your peace, your power. So what is living from the inside out? Ernest Holmes in this thing called You says, the living spirit, we call it the divine, we call it God, the thing itself, that loving vibrational energy of creation is right where I am. It's right where you are. Spirit is in me. Spirit is in you. Spirit sees through me. Spirit sees through you. Thinks in my mind, thinks in your mind, and then through our act. So, Spirit is here. It's right here where we are. John, was it you that said we are the ocean in the drop? You know? So the entire universe is right here. In each one of us, we're just individualized, wonderful expressions of that. Rumi says, everything in the universe is within you. Ask all from yourself. And that's sort of the epitome of living from the inside out. It reminds us that the source of everything is right here. It reminds us to recognize our own potential. It reminds us that our birthright is to grow and expand. In a sense, our treatments and our affirmations, that's what we do. We ask all from ourselves, from within to out. Everything from the universe is within you. Eric Butterworth says, the great truth taught by all the mystics of all the ages is, we live from the inside out. And I gave you that quote because I think it's important to know that while we have our philosophy and our teaching, that Ernest Holmes and many of the other great mentors and mystics took it upon themselves to research other philosophies and religions and come up with the core truths and the core beliefs. So in another area of my world, I am a certified clinical aromatherapist. So I had to study organic chemistry and botany. And so this teaching reminded me so much of the art of germination. This is so cool. So imagine the seed within us, the seed. And the way it works out there for this beautiful background that we have is that the seed is the potential. And then the rain comes. And there's this little act called imbibition, which the seed soaks up the rain, the nourishment. The rain, it softens to what's to be. And then the inside activates from that rain, and it literally eats itself, turns itself inside out, and the outward expression is the beautiful plant that we see. And isn't that what we do in this teaching? We are the seed within us. We absorb the nourishment, more truth, and we activate the law, and we emerge. Just like the seed. We are the great center, ready and willing to express our good, our infinite potential. Isn't this the perfect time of year to think about this? When I was planning all of my wonderful plants, and some I start from seed, just so I can see that emergence. Does anybody here garden? Right, and you just love to see those little sprouts. Those were your idea. If you plant a tomato, do you get a peach?
Oh, that would be funny.
It would be funny. It would certainly be.
Amazing. Interesting.
We get to manifest from the inside out. We get to be the instruments. We get to determine the divine qualities, as we did this morning before our invocation. We get to determine. Make me an instrument of your peace. Make me an instrument of your joy. Make me an instrument of your love. Make me an instrument of your yay. So we get to, that's our divine idea, that's our seed, that's what germinates, and that's what expresses. Yay. So we get to determine, we have the power. We get to determine what seed we want in manifestation. We get to remember that in so doing, we are in alignment with that divine loving presence that provides everything. It's all here now. We get to open up our mind to that idea, and we get to co-create it consciously. Now that is living from the inside out. So what is expressed? Holmes says, change your thinking, change your life. That's not just a catchy phrase. It's a deep metaphysical law. We live from the inside out and we take responsibility for our outside view. That was such a beautiful metaphor, Regina. I love that. Thank you so much. So I want you all to take a moment right here and now. And I want you to think about from the moment you woke up to the moment when you arrived here. Just for a moment, go through that day and think about some of the thoughts that came up for you. No judgment. Just think about those thoughts. So in our teaching, we know that those thoughts are created. So be honest. Did anybody here experience any thoughts that they wouldn't want to create?
Yes.
I had a little bit of a thought of anger on the road this morning. I just wonder why people want to follow so close to my car. And I keep thinking, they love me, they love me. You know. But before that, I was like, get off my back.
Yeah.
So, we're human, we're normal. But I just wanted to give you a little juxtaposition there that when we're not conscious of our thoughts, amazing thoughts do come out. So we remember that the circumstances of our life, the anger, the car behind me, they may be facts. Because the car was too close to my car. If I had jammed on my brake, if that sweet little bunny rabbit hopped across the road, he would have, right, crashed.
Yeah.
But then I remembered he loves me, he's feeling my vibration, I know that I am safe, and I just had to go through the words of truth that I wanted to germinate, that I wanted to create. So let's talk about living from the outside in, right? For that moment, I was living from the outside in. And what could I possibly have created? I could have possibly created that accident. I have to take responsibility. I was angry. I don't know, but do you ever get the urge if somebody's too close, you just want to step on the brake and say, get away from me? Well, that's clever, right? I mean, that is a disaster waiting to happen. So let's plant some seeds. There is no wrong answer. If we want to step out of that anger, what seed can we plant?
Forgiveness.
Peace.
Forgiveness,
Serenity,
kindness,
Acceptance.
acceptance, happiness,
Harmony.
harmony.
Non-judgmental.
Look, you're all geniuses. You all know what to go into when the outside seems to be there, right? What about if you want to plant or actually step out of lack? What seed would you plant?
Abundance.
Abundance.
Lots of money.
Lots of money.
Lushness.
Say that again.
Lushness.
Lushness.
Luxurious.
The creativity.
Yes. What if you want to step out of weakness,
Strength.
strength,
Courage.
Power.
courage,
Power.
power? They are all,
Confidence.
Confident.
they're all here now. They're all here now. When we react, we give away our power, basically. Because the law is subjective. It doesn't say, I don't like that thought. No, the law is subjective. It is a loving law. It does not discern it. There is no prejudice in the law. The law is the law.
An equal opportunity responder.
Thank you, Jeff. An equal opportunity responder. Brilliance? Brilliance. We become conscious creators, not reactors. So, we are a loving, healing community, as John said, and we teach and practice the principles of the science of mind. So we have been so blessed already today. We had a practice of meditation. Thank you, Regina. We had a practice of reading aloud. Thank you, Deja. Reading aloud is so powerful. It's why when we learn the art of affirmative prayer, we are taught, say it out loud. Why do you think that is? So that we can keep our focus. We can keep our focus. So when I was driving and that car was behind me, I said it out loud. I said it out loud. So, if I weren't driving and I had a little more time to think about it, and that external thing happened, maybe my sweet husband, it's a silly little thing. We all have the silly little things. I bet you all have silly little things that just could drive the appearance of you nuts. And that is that he likes to leave his dirty dishes in the sink. So I went and I bought this cute little sign, and it says, "Please put your dishes in the dishwasher, I love you." And this morning he didn't. And the silliest little thing. And I, for that brief moment, I went, and then I went, okay, what idea am I holding about this? Ooh. Well, one idea could be maybe he doesn't love me. Maybe I don't have power. Maybe my voice is not a strong voice. Right? We all have these inner beliefs that we are learning to release. So then I say, that's not the truth of me. That's not the truth of me. Because God is right here within me right now. Right here, right now. So how can I respond to that in wisdom and peace? Thank you, I said when he came down the stairs, because he sleeps much later than I. Thank you for at least taking them from the table and putting them in the sink. And I'd be so grateful if you could put them in the dishwasher now. And he said, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me to pray. But instead of saying, you didn't put the darn dishes in the dishwasher again. I mean, we have choice. And that's a simple practice. It's a simple practice. Or sometimes I simply say, surely the Spirit is right where I am. Surely the Spirit is right where I am. And then you pause. You just pause so that you have time for that inside to come out in a way that best serves your greatest good. You pause. So, today I invite each of us to make a simple but powerful commitment to pause, to turn within, and to remember that everything we seek is already within us. So close your eyes for a moment. And think of, if you were here, when I asked everybody to speak aloud, what quality of God would they like to express more of today and forever? So think of that quality that you chose. And if you didn't choose one, pick one now. And if you don't like yours, pick another. And turn that within you. Feel that breath of life within you. Feel that spirit within you. And we commit to become a conscious creator. We commit to become a conscious creator. When we live from the inside out, we are not only expressions of truth for ourselves, but we are living demonstrations of it, and our goodness radiates outward into the world. So right now we are radiating. As Deja said, our vibrations are higher, and since we are one with everything in creation, that vibration is moving through the world and beyond. I like to say, thank you, Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. So namaste. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for counting your blessings with me here today.
am the center of divine attraction. All things, all pure and blessed things, all pure and blessed things come to me now. I am the center of divine attraction. All things, all pure and blessed things, all pure and blessed things come to me now. What I choose to focus on is what I get to see. Every thought I'm sending out comes flying back to me. By seeking peace and seeking love already here and now, I activate and celebrate that wondrous working power. That power tells me I am the center of divine attraction. All things, all pure and blessed things, all pure and blessed things come to me now. I speak my word and claim my good. It's here throughout my day. I keep my faith and let the light of Spirit lead my way. That limitless creative thought is working now for me. It's breathing life into my thoughts, for it's done as I believe. And I believe that I am the center of divine attraction. All things, all pure and blessed things, all pure and blessed things come to me now. I am the center of divine attraction. All things, all pure and blessed things, all pure and blessed things come to me now. All pure and blessed things come to me now. All pure and blessed things come to me now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All pure and blessed things come to me
Or the
now.
words of Ernest Holmes.
The words of Ernest Holmes,
Right from
our
the book.
founder. And so, I was asked to get up and tell a story today. And so, the story changed as the week went by. And not only that, I'm going to tell you the story of how I found the story that I'm going to tell you. Because that's a better story than the story I'm going to tell you. I'll also read some of the story that I'm going to tell you. So it's so interesting. For those of you who've come here many times, I like telling stories, right? And over the years, I've told a lot of different stories. I know a lot of stories. I didn't want to tell one of those stories that I've already told, right? And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about how what we really do is, as spiritual people who are on a spiritual path, the question is, what's the story we're telling with the story we're telling, right? I can tell you the story this morning. I got in my car and went down to the diner because on Sunday morning, we have breakfast with one of our dear friends every Sunday morning. Well, that's the story. The real story is, it matters to me that I get to see my friend Joan on Sunday morning and have a nice breakfast. That's the more important story than getting in the car and what I did, right? That's the inside of the story. So now, all week long I was thinking, well, I could tell this story. No, I think I told that story. I could change it a little bit. No, I don't want to change it a little bit. By Friday, I found a story not quite right. I thought, well, I'll have to rewrite this story. And I sat down to do my morning practice. And my phone dinged. That sound that goes off when somebody sends me a text. And it was my practitioner sent me a link to a YouTube video. Now, he very rarely, unless I make an appointment with him and this time, I don't hear from him, right? So I said, oh, isn't that interesting? And I started to watch this video. And here's the third paragraph, because I took out the text of it. The third paragraph is, let's begin with a story. And I went, oh, that's what this is about. I had treated to find the exact right story so that we could spend some time really thinking about living from the inside out, right? All week long I've been treating and thinking about it. This was the demonstration of my treatment, right? He sent me this thing. Now the real story, within this story, is that what I did with that was, I read it and I thought, I don't know if it's the right story. It doesn't quite fit. And I went through this whole thing. And then I went, wait a minute. I asked from within to be guided for the right story so that all of us could spend some time really thinking more deeply about living from the inside out. And I got the answer. And what did I do with it? I went, oh, I'm not sure if that's the right thing. I don't know if I really want to do this story and all that stuff. And that brought me to, okay, how many times do I do that in my life? Right? We ask for an answer, and we get the answer. And then we go, no, that's not the right answer. That's not the right answer. Right? In a lot of ways, I think that's sort of the story of parts of our lives. Because one of the things in our teaching is that we say the answer is in the question. Always. The answer is always right there. The world is built. Spirit is infinite giving. It's not holding anything back. And we talked also a couple of weeks ago about opening the door, right? How wide is the door open so that when the answer comes, it can get in. You can receive it. You can pay attention to it. And so the learning I've gotten out of this process of choosing a story is, I need to pay attention to how many times I get the answer I asked for and I don't pay attention to it. I've rejected. So anyway, here's the story that we were sent, because that's the way I'm thinking of it, right? I asked for a story, we were sent this story. Here it is, and it's a Zen story. It's a really interesting point. If you've been on the journey of inner growth and spiritual practice, you know that it's not always sunshine and serenity. Sometimes, don't laugh. Right?
You know better than me.
Sometimes, paradoxically, the more we meditate, the more agitated we feel. The more we try to quiet the mind, the noisier it becomes. The more we chase peace, the more elusive it seems. If you are someone who is on a spiritual path, you probably know, I certainly know that this is true. Some days, for some reason, our mind is somewhere else. That's all. If this sounds familiar, know this. You are not failing and you are not alone. We're going to dive deep into one of the most misunderstood aspects of the spiritual path. Why you might be feeling worse instead of better, and what it truly means to find Zen, to find the inside. Not in a monastery, but in the heart of your daily life. Let's begin with a story. One quiet night, I sat cross-legged on the floor of my bedroom. The lights were off, a candle flickered beside me, everything was ready for what I hoped would be a moment of deep peace. But as I closed my eyes, something strange happened. Instead of calm, I found chaos. My mind filled with deadlines, family responsibilities, past regrets, and future worries. It was like someone had turned on 1,000 TVs all at once. I opened my eyes, frustrated. Why can't I meditate? Why is this happening? The answer I later discovered was simple but profound. I had not built a home for my heart. Many people believe that peace is something you go out and find. You go to a temple, a retreat center, a yoga class. You travel to distant lands to sit in silence. But the greatest spiritual journey is not the one that takes you away from life. It's the one that brings you fully into it. Real Zen is not found on a mountaintop. It's found in the kitchen when you're washing dishes and somebody leaves the dishes in the sink. It's in the traffic jam when you choose not to honk. It's in the argument when you decide to listen instead of win. That's when your inner home is built. I want to introduce you to someone who taught me this truth in the most unexpected way. His name is Mr. Wang, a shoemaker in a crowded market. He never went to school, didn't own a single spiritual book, and yet his presence radiated peace. I used to sit near his stall just to watch him work. He would repair shoes with such care, such attention, it was as if every stitch was a prayer. One day, I asked him, "How do you stay so calm in this chaos?" He looked up, smiled, and said, "I repair more than shoes. I repair myself." He had made his tiny workshop into a temple. His tools were his practice, his silence was his chant, his humility was his robe. That's when I understood that Zen, the inside truth, is not a place, it's a way of being. So if you're feeling irritated, restless, even angry during your meditation practice, don't despair. That irritation is not a sign of failure, it's a doorway. It's your mind showing you what still needs your attention. Meditation doesn't eliminate your problems, it reveals them, and once revealed, they can be understood, held, and eventually healed. So this is for us, right? This was given for us. And so I encourage you to integrate this into your story. Each one of us has our own story, right? As we go out into our lives after this hour spent here, bring it into your life, right? Reveal the truth. Know that every sign of anything that doesn't feel like it's rightly balanced, it's a doorway. It's your mind showing you what still needs attention.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Jeffrey Starbuck, and I'm here to speak a little more loudly. And to yes, and also to say that that thank you for leaving the dishes in the sink so that I can put them in the dishwasher. Thank you. And also to say that something I do, this is not originally what I was going to say, but it'll come. I do this with traffic. I treat for harmony, and I say I'm in a harmonious relationship with all of the cars on the road, with all objects, with all animals, with the surface of the road. My automobile is in all parts of my car are in a harmonious relationship with all of the other parts, and all as well. I'm in harmony with all of creation, specifically all the cars on the road. and all of the technology, all of the police systems, and all of it. Now, we're going to do a practice. It may seem odd, but that's okay. We're going to use it when all talking and all singing takes place basically on the exhalation. So talking is, so singing is a kind of breath practice. Pranayama in yoga, it's considered a breathing exercise. It's more than that, but it's a kind of pranayama. Prana is the energy, yama is the control. So, like right now I'm doing that. So we're gonna do this practice of using our vocal cords to create a sound. And the sound is E, just like this. I'm gonna demonstrate. E. We'll be doing that. And while you're doing it, close your eyelids and focus your attention on your head, your physical head, your skull specifically. You're going to be vibrating your skull. This is not a cognitive exercise. This is a felt exercise in energy, and it will have an effect to the degree that you do it, and the effect will be positive. So we're going to do this. So, and you're going to hear the sound your vocal cords make with your own eardrums, which we don't when we're thinking, you know. And you're also going to hear the sounds of people around you, and keep the sound going. In other words, when you finish an exhalation, just take another one and keep going. So we're going to do this for a couple of minutes. Everybody, relax where you are, have both feet on the floor, and breathe in deeply, and breathe so that you're comfortable and throughout. Okay, and people have different lung capacities. Okay, breathing in. Itself. Feel the body sitting here in space on the chair. Feel internally the sensation in your head, in your skull, in your chest, in your shoulders, in your chin, in the back of your head, in your spine. Just continue breathing and feel. Feel and sense the vibratory frequency that you are and that is happening all around you. only gonna be sitting here for another 45 minutes. Well, Gary. But continue to stay and leave your space during this time.
Right, we get to that part of the service where we are interested in truth. This center is here for the long term. We need to keep getting our message out. We need to keep dealing with the importance, the truth of what's going on in this universe, what's going on in this world. And to do that, we use a contribution or two. We give not because we feel obligated, not because God needs the money, but because we're here to do some work and we want to continue and expand as much as possible. So, what you ready? If you're at home, very sure you can on the website and your simple presence here with us is a contribution. Welcome everybody that shares the spirit and truth, everybody that will help us to spread our teaching, to understand our teaching and ourselves. Because that's, really it's about growing closer. All right, I'm going to do the closing treatment here. There is only one, and we know that one is called by many names. People throughout the world have 1,000 names for God, 1,000 names for Spirit. Whatever name you use, that you relate to, is a perfectly good name for God. It is the truth as you understand it. That is the truth that is coming to you personally. And we know that when we call Spirit God or Allah or Ishwara, whatever, there are 1,000 names, but every name is a name that means something to someone that relates to the deep truth. And those names are names that we use to relate to the universe, the truth of being, and ourselves. And know that that being, that truth, that reality lives within us. And as children of God, or whatever word you use, whatever expression you use for that, you know that the very power of Spirit, the very power of the universe is working in us and through us, and is therefore doing exactly what is necessary in each one's life to bring that one greater growth, greater expression, greater connection with reality and with everything that there is. I know that this is true. I know that this would go to the law. which has always forever made it true, will always do so. So it is.
So it is. Now it is. Hold up. Yeah.
Said,